guys, welcome back. In this role, we have another Mike. This is Marine Mike. Marine Mike is a tough dude. Probably one of the strongest ones in our school. Can easily deadlift over 400. There's an inside joke if you guys don't understand that. Click to the previous videos. But he can easily, definitely deadlift over 400. And he does such a good job also keeping up with technique. So we do a lot of study sessions and he's always asking the right questions. His takedown game is good, his guard is good, his passing good. So my particular goal with him is to really focus on control. Because he's so strong and technical, I just want to kind of cook him under pressure and control good positions with him. So in our role, we kind of we go really hard, and we actually have two roles filmed, and so I'm planning on showing both. Because he's so tough, I really wanted to focus on going hard, being technical, and making sure that I'm able to focus on control, on pressure, taking positions when he gives me opportunities, and if not going for the submission, going for the positional control that I really like to work. Marine Mike is awesome, does all his homework, arguably one of the strongest guys. I don't know his rank in the Marines, sorry about that. Yeah, I know that's kind of bad, I probably should have asked him, but it is a high rank. He does a lot for the country, so I'm really proud to have him with us, someone with his caliber of experience, to be able to have him as a training partner and a student. Really excited for this. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Leave your thoughts in the comments and let's have some fun. Okay guys, so we have Marine Mike, very technical, very strong. I don't have really particular goals other than to really focus on my control and my passing, but Marine Mike always brings it. And so on this day, we actually did several rolls. We did maybe I want to say 3. So you're in it for a long, long video this time, guys. And I enjoy rolling with him. So working some stand-up, I kind of test him out. He has the inside grip, so he's got an advantage here. I think he's going to try to go for a throw. So I'm trying to see, and then he ends up pulling guard and goes immediately to a De La Hiva. I start not giving him my left sleeve. I keep it away because he wants to break my posture and use it, and he uses it to sweep very nicely here. So tries to sweep. I come back up, and I don't let him finish the sweep. It was a good attempt on that sit-up sweep. I know he's going to pull again, so look, I step on his foot, and I go immediately to a headquarters position. Look at my right grip here, how it focuses on his collar, and I'm going to use it to start shin slicing to my right. He puts me back into his open guard, making me feel uncomfortable, so I, again, re-grip and go the other way. Okay, he's doing a good job with his left hand. Look how he goes underneath and he starts using it to disrupt my balance. And look at his right grip on my collar. Also good job. So I'm going to counter by grabbing his pant, coming back. He tries to recompose his guard, goes for a leg lock. My shorter legs help in this exchange. So I'm going to use that to go into 50-50. So first I go to leg drag, and look at how I'm going to use that to pass right there. So I use that leg drag position to start passing. I put all my weight forward, which basically weighs heavy on his hips, and then I'm able to lift. And you have to remember, I can't use my right hand very well, but I can use my left hand. So immediately I pass from that leg drag. Use my knees to pin his shoulder, cup his wrist, and now I'm just kind of waiting to see how he tries to escape. So he tries to recompose. I come back. I always stay calm in these situations too, so I don't worry. Look at how I switch my base. I'm going to use this to windshield wipe and to pass on to the other side. See how I was on the right side of his body? Now I'm on the left side, back into a leg drag. I bring in my grip tight. I stay very, very heavy. I pinch my knee to my right elbow. I don't give him the space, so now he can't recover from here. And now I'm going to make my way from this leg drag position onto the full pass. This is a very tough position if you're on bottom. Very good position if you're on top. So I'm going to use this to finish the pass. And the other thing I focus on from this position is really being patient. You don't have to rush the pass. You can always be patient. If they're strong, fast, or technical or whatever, and they're giving you a hard time, you need to just stay composed, and then the opportunity will present itself. So I switched to a knee on belly. Again, I'm also utilizing that patience here. There's no rush. Enjoy the process. He's able to get to his side. I was trying to keep him flat. He's doing a good job keeping the cross face away, which is what I always preach and teach. And so as he keeps that away, I'm going to keep leaning towards my right. I'm going to go to a senkaku position here. Try to feed that ankle lock. I'm not necessarily going to go for a leg lock here because that wouldn't be fair. So I went for an ankle lock, didn't get it. So I immediately escape. And then again, here's a position where I talk about utilizing patience, staying patient, keeping my pressure forward. I'm able to windshield wipe again, pin that bottom leg. I know it's hard to see because we're on this side, but basically I'm using my hip and my hand to pin that bottom knee with my cross grip and use that to focus on my pass. And then I lift. He's going to use that to recompose. I'm going to keep walking towards his head, and that's going to help me clear the legs, which essentially clears the hips. And then my hips high, shoulders low, and I have a good cross face. I go knee on belly, use my knees to pin top. I go cross face. From cross face, I'm going to start to migrate towards almost like a leg weave. So you see how I step over his leg, and I'm going to pin, and then I'm going to go for a bolo to try to take his back just to have some fun. He does a good job. Look how he's pinning my heel, so I can't go. Because he's pinning my heel with his left hand, I can't go. So he does a good job, tries to repin me, but then I circle back into a leg drag. I did try to take his back. He didn't let me have it. So I go back to leg drag, from leg drag to knee cut, and now I've passed. And then I'm trying to use both hands to lift because my right hand still cannot grip very well. It can just kind of hold. So I feed to my left grip. And look at how I set this up. I'm pinning his arm with my shin. And I'm going to go for a Kanto Choke from here. So look at how I'm going to feed my left leg over his head while I'm keeping his right arm pinned. His right arm pinned. And now I'm going to pull and extend my leg as I pull the grip. And this is what allows me to get the tap. So I'm going slow because I don't like to crank if it is a crank. But right here, I finish. It's a good submission tap I really like. So I get the tap, and I did it with more precision and more control, kind of what my goal is. So again, I'm trying to stay patient. So again, I know he likes to pull guard. I'm anticipating the guard pull. So I think about pulling, but I also want to play a little bit with some stand-up. But who knows, right? So we're grip fighting. He pulls again. Immediately, look, I shut down that leg and I pin it down. At the same time, I'm circling around. See how he frames his knee on my shoulder? So I'm going to use my right hand to grip. Remember, it has a weak grip, but if I can hold, I should be okay. I'm also using my left hand pinning his ankle and my left knee pinning his calf. So all my body is being used, right? My limbs, my body, my frames. And look at how, again, I'm staying patient. I'm not moving until he moves. So I wait. He's pinning my arm with his leg. Tries to go for a cross choke. I'm okay. I'm still waiting. There's no threat. I start to move to the side. He tries to threaten with a cross choke again. And I backstep because that does take away the angle of the cross choke. So I pass and immediately cup his shin so he's not able to recompose. I use my knees to pin, and we end the round. So that was round 1. So here's round 2. We were only supposed to do 2 rounds, but there's a third because we messed up with the settings. But then when I saw the video, this isn't set to the configuration that I like my videos to be shot in. I actually didn't think it was that bad during editing, but anyhow, I said, oh, what the heck? Let's throw it in there. More commentary. I know Mike likes this because it gets to show him what he messes up on and what he's doing good in. And same for me. It's always a growing experience. So he pulls guard. We go back to headquarters. I already know that he really likes this half guard sit-up sequence. So he's doing a good job gripping, right? What I would like to see him do is underhook my leg right there. See how he didn't underhook it once? So then I don't feel threatened with the underhook, so I can get a little lazy and I can get away with stuff. So anytime you're in half guard bottom, you always want to threaten that far side leg, underhook it, and try to sweep if you can. So right there, I would also like to see him try to off balance me a little bit more with that grip he has on my collar. But he doesn't, so I can take my time and start cutting my knee across. So he's doing a good job. He did not block my left sleeve, so I have a post. And so I'm using my right hand against his throat and my left hand to post. This is not good for him because I can really leverage the angle and the side of his body to pass. I don't pass right away, but right there he's staying too static. He needs to be more dynamic in his movement. He needs to move around. So because he's not moving around, I'm able to shut down his legs, pass his hip. Of course, I have my leg still in his half guard, and that's okay. He's doing a good job trying to block that crossface. And anytime they block the crossface, I utilize a grip and grab somewhere else. I never waste a grip. You're not supposed to. I'm on my knees here, which is fine because I'm trapping his knee shield. He goes knee shield, and he finally underhooks. This is what I wanted him to do earlier. Right? This is good because it threatens up a sweep from here and even a submission. So then I trap his far side armpit, and I lean all the way, and I get my right foot out. I'm able to utilize that position against him. But he did the right thing. He should have probably underhooked and moved and angled and threatened so that way he can recompose close guard or open guard instead of staying half guard. Or he could have gone deep half. There's a lot of things he could have done. So I isolate the arm. I go over. I know that he knows that I like that arm. So he tries to reverse me. I have all my base spread out, so it's hard because I have my legs to save me. Take a second and just take my belt off so it doesn't get in the way. He tries to go for another leg lock. I spin over immediately to a leg drag position inside his 50-50, but it's not really 50-50. It's like 70-30, right? So I'm able to get wedge my leg out and leverage that angle because it's very hard to finish here. People can do it. So then I lift his pant with my left hand and I go to leg weave instead of leg drag. He threatens with a cross choke again, which is fine. I windshield wipe my right leg out from leg weave and immediately go all the way to knee on belly, isolating the arm some more. And as he gets to his side, I make it very uncomfortable for him. So if he's flat, that's where I want him to be. But if he comes up to his side, I just make it uncomfortable for him. So now he's grabbing hold of that lapel, which is good for him. But it would be good to use that to create a scramble so he can put me back in his half guard. He doesn't. Instead, he eats a crossface because he gave that to me, which he shouldn't have done. And now I can use it to flatten him out. And because he's knows what he's doing and he's very strong, I have to be very careful. I can't, for a minute, be less technical than I am here because if I do, he will take it and he can sweep, submit. He's a very tough dude. So I'm going to use this scramble to get into the right position for a Kimura trap armbar. You see how I set it up right there? That's a perfect angle. Pinch my knees together, bring my other leg across, and immediately grab the wrist and finish. And I was only able to do that because he scrambled up to his side. So when they use that scramble where they use a lot of strength, I'm able to walk back into a position like this. So here we go again. I pull guard this time. He tries to go over. I don't have a very strong grip on my right hand, but I'm still able to do like a basic, almost like a half tomenagi. I cup the top of his foot to keep him from hooking. And instead of going long step, I go back to knee cut. I go back to senkaku. I sit back And look at this scramble. I'm trying to get the ankle lock. He doesn't let me. He does a good job hand fighting. I'm gonna use it to come back to a knee cut. Because my knee's already there and I'm already beating him with the underhook, immediately come back to the other side, and now I have the underhook. Even though my ankle gets caught, I'm able to keep the crossface, redirect my hips, and finish the pass. So, good little setup here that I was able to perform from the Senkaku position. So he tries to come up. I use my knees. Notice how I use all of my limbs, my hands, my feet, my knees, my shoulders, my face even, to always leverage position against my opponent. So I step over his head. He scrambles up. I keep controlling the wrist. Use my knees against his rib cage. I go to knee cut again. And I start utilizing that grip. Notice I use my left hand because I cannot use my right. And I fall back for an angle because I know there's almost time. And I go belly down. And of course, I'm very careful with the guys. I never want to rip it. So I try to be as technical as I can. And that concludes round 2. So now we have round 3. We weren't supposed to shoot this one. When I found out the video wasn't shot in the settings that I liked, I got real picky, and then after reviewing it on editing, it actually wasn't bad. So looking back, I probably wouldn't have shot this third one, but I was like, what the heck? I get to train more. So anyhow, does a good guard pull, almost sweeps me. So eventually, I get into my favorite. You could tell this is one of my favorite positions. I really like headquarters. He's doing a good job controlling sleeves, but what I like to see him do more is, again, get me off balance. Maybe go side to side, push me. So I use one of my favorite passes, was a shin slice. And then to prevent him from scrambling, I use my knees to block his hips, you see. Now I'm using my knee to block his shin. And remember, I can't use my right grip very well. I can just hold. And even then, my grip is not very strong. I think I had some pretty serious nerve damage on my fingers. It still hasn't recovered. It's been 2-3 months and it's still not the same, which is fine because it actually helps me become more technical because I'm not able to use it as much. So I have to rely on my other hand and my body to kind of get me into position. So I'm not totally complaining, but I can't wait for it to heal so I can use it the way I want to use it. So he's doing a good job framing. He's got that right leg over my shoulder, kind of threatening. Not necessarily threatening, but just doing a good job blocking. So once he's able to push, I'm able to back up and pass like I just did there. So I'm very patient with the pass. I know that he wants to reverse me. So he grabs my belt. So immediately I attack the shoulder. Anytime he gives me a position, I'll take it. So I'm attacking the shoulder to get a possible arm bar, maybe a bread cutter choke, Kimura. I always take these positions seriously, right? Because it's very, very good. So we try to scramble. He gets to his side, and he actually gives me the position. I go for it. He's able to defend really well and escape the armbar position. So he tries to pass. Now I'm at bottom. Probably haven't seen me a lot in bottom in this round. So he shoots for an ankle lock. He kind of messes up. He has nothing to stop me from coming up. He should have. So look, I'm going to go technical stand-up, lean to my left. As I come up, immediately shut down his outside leg so I can just pass. He actually made it easier for me. So he should have put his left foot at my hip, tightened his knees, prevented me from coming up, maybe grabbing my calf or my ankle. So I immediately pass with that ankle lock attempt. And again, I'm waiting to see what he gives me. And it looks like this time he gives me that wrist control again and that far side shoulder. And there it is, that far side shoulder again. I spin all the way to the back. See, I have that wrist control. He recovers. Good job. Okay, no problem. Get into my position. I keep walking from a basic Toreando. Use my left knee to trap. Go over his legs to mount. I go technical mount. He's doing a good job defending that sleeve. I don't want the armbar right away. I could feel his arm try to come out. So now I'm leveraging my S mount. And now I go back to my Kanto Choke. Look at my left hand. Look at my left leg. I trap him from armbar to Kanto Choke. And I get it again. I think I got this in the first round. I love this choke. It's always there, especially when you miss the armbar. So I know he's pretty tired. We had rolled. He didn't just roll with me that day too. But he's tough. So now I pull guard, go immediately to De La Hiva, to berimbolo. That's a old school classic of mine. I've been doing since my purple belt days. Just crazy, because purple belt days was about more than 10 years ago that I've been doing the bolo. I kind of stayed away from it though, because I don't like it too much now. I like my jiu-jitsu to be more simple, but I was having fun here. So I advance position. I go to mount, moving to technical mount. Putting all my pressure and all my base that's very heavy. Threatening that Kanto Choke again with my weak hand, of course. If you notice, I was able to get the Kanto Choke with my left hand, which is my weaker hand. But right now it's stronger than my right hand, so I'm using it. He's doing a good job defending and blocking. So I know that. So I'm trying to just keep him occupied and busy. He puts me into half guard, which is great. And I'm actually really proud of this transition he does, because he puts me into deep half very nicely. If he would have just committed a little bit more instead of waiting, like if he kept walking, which he tries to do here, but it's too late. I pass my left leg over, and I start to grab his shoulder, and my right knee is pinning his body, and I'm able to go all the way to the other side, use my hip to check his hip, immediately crossface, and by grabbing that shoulder, I'm able to keep him as flat as I can, and then I go all the way and pass to the far side shoulder attack right there. So I was able to utilize that, and then I feed back. Now I go for an arm bar. Again, not forcing positions. He kind of gave it to me by going to his side. So easy arm bar. I'm not trying to attack crazy, just kind of isolate, pinch my knees, get the position. So I want to play more guard because I haven't been playing guard, so I'm going to pull guard again. So, but before I can pull guard, he pulls on me. That was my plan, to pull guard, but I saw him kind of anticipate and know that I was going to do it. So then we land in a weird position here. I have a very good strong Kimura grip, and I start attacking the Kimura. And I really like this position because it's very hard for him to pass while I get to relax. And that's the time. That's the third round. Marine Mike, brute strong, can probably also deadlift 400 pounds or more. Inside joke, guys. I've been talking about that a lot. But very technical, very nice dude. Also does his studying. He knows what he's working on and what he's doing. And so this was a fun role. I didn't have any specific goal other than to really focus on control, isolating different parts of his joints, and really focusing on capitalizing off that control. But man, he's tough. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this. Like always, please share the video, subscribe to the channel. And if you guys have any other questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. I love communicating with you guys. And until next time, keep training, and we'll see you soon.